Hey there guys, it's Angus here. So welcome to a new video. This is a monthly update series where I talk you through the progress of my game, Sunset Witch X. This is a retro style shoot 'em up that I'm working on, and I hope to finish it by the end of summer, or at least by that point get a fair amount of progress on it. In this video I'm going to be focusing on a lot of gameplay aspects, things like control, enemies and bosses and all that. Keep in mind that all the footage you're about to see is still work in progress, so it will be different from the final game when it comes out. So with that out of the way, I figure we'll get started. I've got my controller ready, so let's get into the gameplay. So here's Sunset Witch herself. You can see that now she's animated. So when you go forward, she leans forward, and when you go back, she leans back. When she's on the ground, she actually stands on the ground and can even walk too. And you can even turn around. She has a life meter, but she also has a magic meter. Every time she hits an enemy, she gains a point. And when she reaches 100 points, she gets a supercharge, and at the press of a button you unleash a giant laser. You're also invincible during this time, so use it whenever things get hectic. I should also mention the game is compatible with the 360 controller. You can use the triggers to turn around, and you use the face buttons to shoot and use your super shot. There's still some tweaks that need to be made with movement in general, but overall things are quite smooth so far. And now for the enemies. We have wasps, missile launchers, spread bullet things, spread bullets, snakes, and lots of bullets. The wasps come out from hives, and they always approach you in an unpredictable way as if to confuse you. With the laser enemies, they act as if they're on rails. They either go up or down, or they move diagonally. Notice that when you go behind them, they rotate as well, and every time they fire a laser, they pause. I feel this will add to the challenge so that you can manipulate the pattern. Then we have the missile launcher. Every now and then it fires missiles. But what's cool here is that you can farm for points. You can farm for points using the missiles, and eventually earn a supercharge. I feel enemies like these will add a bit of strategy to your gameplay. There's also a few spread bullet enemies. This one dishes out a lot, and when he's defeated he unleashes a lot of bullets before being destroyed completely. The snake is one of the more interesting ones. He keeps going up and down the screen making more and more layers, but if you get stuck you can shoot through them and make your own path. And you can use a supercharge to get rid of a ton of them. So that's all the enemies, now we're on to the bosses. First we have Clunky. This guy has 2 turret heads, so depending on whether you're above or below, that designated head would start shooting. If you shoot the shield, he doesn't get damaged, but when you go behind him, he then shifts his shield around. But he takes a while to turn around, so if you're quick enough, you can get behind him and shoot. This may take a while, but if you use the supercharge, you can defeat him almost instantly. And you can also use the supercharge through his shield. Next we have this giant teeth monster. I was feeling a bit experimental, so I decided to use some rotation and scaling. You have to hit the eye while avoiding teeth and the giant claws that come in and try to attack you. I decided to throw in a reference to Turrican, an old Amiga and Super Nintendo series. You typically had a giant hand boss in the first stage, but I felt with this being a shoot 'em up, not only does he try to crush you on the ground, but he also tries to crush you on the ceiling and on the left and right sides of the wall. You notice that there's giant flames coming out whenever he hits the wall, and that's to stop people from hiding in the corners when fighting this boss. If you go above or below him, he'll try to attack you, but if you move too far away, he'll speed towards you and hit the wall several times. Then we have this human-looking boss. She doesn't have any attack patterns yet except to fire a laser. There's still a lot to be added with this boss, but I think there's a lot of opportunities with this one. And now we have the Devil Orb. This one's made out of multiple layers, and you gotta take down each one. To stop you from hiding in the corners, there's constant missiles launching from the top corners. When he enters phase 2, that's when things get really hectic. He has 2 super lasers, constant bullets firing out, and bullets coming from the top and the bottom of the screen. You're going to need a lot of supercharge ready for this fight. So that's it for gameplay features. Now we're going to look at the backgrounds. There's only a few as I'm focusing mostly on gameplay at the moment. So far we have this hellish looking landscape which uses parallax scrolling. Notice how the layers move when you scroll down the screen. I feel this will add a sense of depth to the backgrounds. There's a few more miscellaneous ones that I'll show right here, but a lot of them are still work in progress. This is one of the more interesting ones. I made a demon face and made it scale and stretch in different ways. Whatever this guy becomes should be quite interesting in the final game. But that's pretty much it. I did make some concept art over the past month, including the new design of Sunset Witch herself. I decided to give her a bit of a more grown-up look. There's also pieces of concept art for every location, as well as pixel art that's yet to still be finished. But that's pretty much it. So far the game is going pretty well. and I'm quite pleased with things 2 months into development. I will say I need more progress on the structure and stages themselves, but that's why I hope to make my target by next month. Be sure to follow me on Itch.io to keep updated on this game's progress. I also share concept art to my Twitter and Instagram. You can find links in the video description. But that's about it for this update video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next month.